What's going on, guys? Nathan here, bringing you yet another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. This video's topic will be discussing the Spy as a general class, talking about his play style, and a while back a subscriber actually asked me to do a video on the Saharan Spy set and how to play it effectively, so this video is for you. I don't really remember your name, so sorry about that. I could look it up, but I'm kind of doing a commentary right now, as you can hear. So anyway, we are playing on Koth Badlands, and I am actually using the weapons for the Saharan Spy set, but I'm actually putting myself at a little bit of a disadvantage by not actually wearing the fez, so I don't actually get the set bonus, which is the quieter cloak and uncloak sound, especially with the Dead Ringer. That is extremely useful, but also the Wanga Prick is a reskin of the Your Eternal Reward, so I decided to use that because that's like the least used knife in my backpack ever. So yeah, just decided to use that, but yeah, let's talk about the Spy a little bit. So how do you use the Saharan Spy set effectively, especially when you have the Your Eternal Reward, which is pretty much, in my opinion, the crappiest spy knife. Actually, no, the kunai is the crappiest spy knife. But anyway, I'm just not a fan of the Your Eternal Reward. So how do you do well with what I would call a disadvantage? Well, let's just backtrack a little bit here and look at the general picture for spies. So in Team Fortress 2, there are three play styles that I've noticed that spies tend to execute as they play the game. And they are dependent on what cloak you're using. So it's the Dead Ringer, the Invisawatch, and then the Cloak and Dagger. Now, the Dead Ringer and the Invisawatch are kind of lumped together sort of as one, being those are your two go-to cloaks, if you see my air quotes there. You use them to be very mobile and to go places, stab people, and get out of there. The Cloak and Dagger is more set for the campy spy who maybe wants to wait for that high-value target to walk right by, maybe a medic with a heavy or something like that. So out of these three playstyles, there are two that I would recommend for the Saharan Spy set, or rather one that I would not recommend, and that is the Invisawatch playstyle, because the Invisawatch is built for very, very mobile spies who also want the ability to cloak, whereas the Dead Ringer is built for very, very mobile spies who want to maybe deceive a little bit more or get behind enemy lines would probably be the better recommendation for that playstyle. But so with the Dead Ringer does benefit you in a way where everyone knows that with your Eternal Reward you cannot disguise as enemies, which means that if you are not disguised or especially cloaked, people are going to fire upon you immediately, because that is just how spies are treated. Spies are something that you need to take out really fast, because spies can massacre a team with those chain stabs, and especially if the spy is really good, he will just stay alive and keep harassing you over and over. So you definitely want to make sure that you kill spies that you see right away. But anyway, so if you don't have that cloak, obviously the Dead Ringer is where that comes in. Dead Ringer is what most people use, I would say, so pretty much everyone knows its uses, so I'm not going to go over that now. But the Dead Ringer does benefit in that obviously you're going to be fired upon, which means that you can draw out that Dead Ringer right away and get that immediate cloak behind enemy lines. So the other playstyle that I would recommend is with the Cloak and Dagger. Now, honestly, this is going to have to be the campiest and most boring playstyle that there is in this game, because with your Eternal Reward and with the Cloak and Dagger, you are not going to be very mobile, because if you uncloak where enemies can see you, they will fire upon you, and you have no form of defense other than your pistol, which you actually have the l'étranger. I gotta pronounce it with the French pronunciation, and you only have that pistol for defense, and you definitely don't want to uncloak. Now, it's really hard to get behind enemy lines if you're not very mobile while cloaked, so yeah, you kind of just have to, well, if you do end up getting behind enemy lines, you just have to like camp it out a little bit, and from there you can wreak some havoc on the enemy team. But just for me personally, I don't really like using the Cloak and Dagger, just because I hate having to like stop, wait for my cloak to recharge, just in case an enemy sees me, because I don't know, it's just like luck in Team Fortress 2 always grants that when I deem a situation safe, and it is safe for me to uncloak, and I go around a corner, there's always like a pyro around the corner, or something like that. So yeah, maybe it's just my luck or something like that, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of the Cloak and Dagger, although I do realize that that is a very, very viable option for other people. So for me personally, I would recommend the Dead Ringer setup over everything. So as for some actual tips when using the Your Eternal Reward, there's just a couple of things I would recommend. So first of all, I would say that your priorities should be rearranged a little bit. As a normal spy, you kind of tend to go for those middle level kills, maybe like backstab, like a demo man or like a sniper or something. But with your eternal reward, your top priority should be to remain unseen and not take a lot of chances with classes like those. You really have to focus on those high value targets, because if people do see you, you are absolutely screwed. I mean, obviously you have the dead ringer to fake a death, but you really never know if that will end up saving you in the end, because maybe, I don't know, an enemy walks around the corner as you're cloaked with the dead ringer, and then you're screwed and you have to uncloak. But so remaining unseen is the top priority here, being once again you cannot disguise. So obviously people are going to see an enemy spy and they're going to shoot at you immediately. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. One other general tip I have for Spy that I'm not sure that other people do is that if I do end up playing Spy, I turn off my auto reload, because when I'm firing with my revolver and I'm not holding the trigger down, which you shouldn't actually, you should be aiming your shots, having the Spy reload his pistol takes up like half of the screen, so I just turn off auto reload so that I can reload at will, and the thing isn't blocking my shot by just going like just like all over the center of your screen. So yeah, that's something that will definitely help you if you have not done so already. Also, if you do end up using this actual set with the Fez and everything, and you do get the set bonus of that very quiet uncloak, one thing I would definitely do is uncloaking with the dead ringer very much near enemies, and you know, fake a death and then get behind their medic uncloak, because they cannot hear that. What it sounds like is an actual or actually regular uncloak, so it just sounds like the little kind of like staticky noise as you uncloak. So definitely be a lot more aggressive if you're uncloaking with the dead ringer, if you have that super quiet uncloak. And yeah. And that will just about wrap up this video, guys, and I know there's a couple of minutes left in this gameplay, but just bear with me. I have one thing to tell you and one thing to request of you guys. So the first thing is that I'll be getting my new graphics card hopefully in about a week and a half. I'm going to actually wait to pull the trigger on it to see if there are any deals off of Newegg for Cyber Monday or Amazon or whatever place has it cheapest. I am looking at a GTX 670 with an accompanying power supply so that it can actually support the graphics card. But yeah, so I am looking to get that soon, which means that once I get it, I'll probably buy like Skyrim, Battlefield 3, Crysis 2, all of the super graphics intensive games, and play those and be like, yeah, I can play these on Ultra and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much all for that. But one thing that I did want to request of you guys, and this is the most important of the two things that I wanted to tell you, is that I do have some demo clips on my hard drive right now, and I would like to make a montage out of them. So if you know somebody or are able to edit a montage yourself, I'm really looking for a sort of high quality montage made out of them. So yeah, if you know somebody or would like to try to do one yourself, then feel free to leave a comment or PM me, and we'll get everything sorted out with that. But that will pretty much wrap up the video. I think I'm going over the gameplay just a little bit here. We do end up losing this last round, I believe. And yeah, that's pretty much all. So please rate the video if you enjoyed it. I always appreciate that. Thank you all for watching. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe for Team Fortress 2 gameplay and such like that. And I'll see you all later.